What's up? You're in the Beat Sessions. I'm your host, Mitchell Weary. We're looking at the brand new record from Dave entitled We Are All Alone in This Together. He released that on July 23rd. This is Dave's sophomore record and follows his award-winning debut, 2019's Psychodrama. Dave is probably going to win some awards for this album as well. Just a marvelous effort. He is an amazing musician, an amazing poet. This record, I will say right off the bat, is a lot to take in. It's got a 61-minute runtime, 12 tracks. You're probably going to need to take at least a half hour to an hour to just sit and process what you listen to. The music is amazing, just beautiful in its minimalism. Dave, his social consciousness, so powerful in his imagery. The imagery that he evokes, whether it's through his own personal experience or whether he's doing a character study in the folk tradition, I love the way he handles the experience of being an immigrant, being in a different country, growing up as an outsider, and the dichotomy that exists there as far as, leaving a place because of the inhumane conditions, because it's war torn, whatever it may have been, and ending up in a spot that, is supposed to be that beacon of hope, that new life that honestly every human being deserves to have an opportunity in. Every person, in my opinion, deserves the chance to work hard and to live free and to have a life. But doing so in a different place where you struggle to develop an identity, where certain pockets of communities in those cities and towns do go out of their way to not make you feel welcome, to be just frankly overtly racist. It sucks. It's really a shitty, realistic aspect of the world, not just in America. It's really just gut-wrenching to listen to a lot of whiny Americans and their discourse and their rhetoric. And I mean, they truly feel that America is the only place where these things are going on. And it's just not true. My experience in Ireland in 2005 was very eye-opening. I met a ton of incredible, open-minded, loving people when I was over there, but also became aware of the immigrant situation, refugees coming out of Africa, and certainly, through eavesdropping, just through, walking by people in bars, out in public, heard a lot of things that I found disconcerting, that I really found to be off-putting. And it's sadly something that is still prevalent everywhere. What I love about a guy like Dave is that he has this attitude, he has this mindset that none of that shit matters. That those people, those garbage people, and their opinions and their beliefs do not affect the way that you can pursue and go about your own life. He has such an incredible perspective for being so young. He's 23 years old. I love the feeling of compunction that it kind of feels like he has too. I mean, he says it in We're All Alone, I believe, in the first song. There's this lyric that he says, becoming a millionaire and I'm leaving all the people I love behind feels like flying first class on a plane that's crashing. Just such a marvelous sense of perspective, of humility. I mean, the entertainment world truly needs more people like this guy. His message, the way it's incorporated into his music, the way that he takes on this dark material, but still approaches it in an uplifting manner. And that's what I love about this guy. That dichotomy of, like you might face that racism, that hatred in the streets, in that place where you struggle to have an identity, but you're also still in a place where you do have the ability to do so much more. And again, it's shutting out that negativity, as tough as it can be sometimes realistically, and identifying that you have a skill set, you are resourceful, you are smart, learning to love yourself, learning to know that you are capable of doing and pursuing anything and everything that you want to. That is the message that Dave delivers through his music, while really digging deep and exploring some of that tough territory, talking about some of those people that weren't able to come out of that, some of those people that, maybe just didn't look out and didn't have the opportunity. And the title of this record alone reflects just such a beautiful concept of, I feel like the word alone oftentimes carries a negative connotation, but Dave here is exploring this idea that, even in the most positive light, even in the most positive of circumstances, we all have our own experiences. We all have this own, life that we go through, that we absorb and filter through our senses, and it's uniquely different for everybody. And that shared experience, while it is unique, is also universal in a lot of ways. And there's a lot of things that, I mean, there's nothing really about my childhood that I think I will ever find relatable to Dave's. I grew up very lucky. I have no problem admitting that. But Dave writes and Dave speaks in a way that it is just, I mean, the way he conveys the humanity and his message is, it's just so powerful. It demands to be listened to, but in a way that opens up your empathy, that opens up your eyes, that allows you to see the situation not from, the political scopes, the political, bookends, but really from a humanitarian standpoint. He's a marvelously gifted musician for that reason, and I'm really looking forward to seeing his career develop. This album starts off with "We're All Alone," exploring that, personal commentary, his experience growing up as an immigrant in the UK, but it also ends with the line "In This Together." So I really like the way he ties that together. Song "Clash," featuring Dave and Stormzy. It's just got this great vocal intro, and there's a lot of that too. There's a lot of this a cappella element, him just really just rhyming these amazing lyrical patterns, wordplay that's going on. He's just a great storyteller. "In the Fire" is this epic 7-minute track, 4 guest stars. He's got Frito, Meeks, Giggs, and Getz on that track, and follows up all their fire with just some really solid perspective. That 5th track, "Three Rivers," again, I love that line. "Being black is not an obstacle, it is an asset." He sends that at the end of the song. Talks about how it took him a while to develop that perspective, but again, he learned to love himself. He learned to appreciate himself for who he is. And no matter who you are or where you come from, I think it's something that is just so critically lacking in our society right now. Well, I mean, whether it's America, the UK, world society in general, there's all these things just preying on our insecurities. And I think more people like Dave need to exist, need to have their message out there to help people understand that, to build that positivity, to learn to love yourself and appreciate you for who you are and what you have to offer the world, despite any differences, shortcomings, whatever it might be. Like, I love his message. I love the way this album picks up with System and Lazarus. There's this great Afrobeat influence that drives those songs, great energy in them. This thing closes out and turns kind of back to the slower, darker side a bit. "Heart Attack" is just this standout 9-minute track where a lot of that a cappella verse comes into play. There's this very powerful vocal segment at the end. It's Dave's mother, and she's distraught, describing the conditions that she ran away from, that she evaded to help protect her son and protect her family, and truly adds to the gravity of, how real this scenario is, how tough life is for so many people still around the world, and the constant battle that they have to wake up and fight on a daily basis, whether it's in that homeland that they come from, or whether it's in the new spot that they seek refuge. It is a constant battle. Dave explores it in just such a dynamic, nuanced way that will demand your attention. Please just throw your headphones on, give this thing an hour to listen to. You'll enjoy listening to it in the months and years to come as well. It's probably not something you're going to listen to often, again, because it is very heavy, but just a remarkable character study, a remarkably personal album in a lot of ways, just very well done. Vinyl pleasing, this record. Dave, look forward to seeing what you got to give us in the future. Please like this video, subscribe to my channel, check out the live show when it returns on October 12th, and we will see you next time on the Beat Sessions.